Black people that succeed are the exception and not the rule. And what they say to black people who succeed is to everybody else, look at them, you can do it too. The rule generally is most people don't succeed because there's too many things that are leveled against you. What they do is take the ones that do succeed and make the people that didn't feel bad because you should have been able to do this exceptional thing that happened. All everybody wants is to be regular and have a decent life. If you see black people they generally have done something exceptional. They've exceeded expectations. They have cut themselves. They have found a way to beat the eye. But they're held up at the example of the things you should be able to do when you're not. If everybody that lived in any circumstances had the ability to have a decent life, just being a regular dude, a regular, not exceptional, not unexceptional, just a regular person, I think we'd have less strife, but we don't. Because we see unexceptional white guys get to be these extraordinary things, and you're like, wow.
The dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. And I listened to the first part of that clip. I didn't even hear the end of it. It got dumber. And I'm glad I didn't waste my brain cells interpreting what he's trying to say. The biggest lie that he's telling is making black people believe that somehow being a normal black person will leave you in poverty. If you look at the statistical data, majority of black people live in the middle class in America. There are middle-class citizens in America. The majority of black people are in the middle class. The minority of black people are poor. So that means, to me, D.L. Hughley is completely making up something from outer space, because if saying that you're not exceptional or non-exceptional, just live an average life or a decent life, he's claiming that it's not achievable by black people, then explain how most black people are in the middle class. We all know, because he's an idiot. That's why he can't explain that, and he's not articulating that well. This fool is talking about exceptional black people doing exceptional things that nobody in the world has done. There is no LeBron James, white, black, or indifferent. I mean, not I say white, black, or different. It's only a black LeBron James. There's no white man that's LeBron James. There is no white Michael Jordan. These black men are doing things that nobody has ever done, ever, and will never do again. It's just the truth. There will never be a white basketball player that's more prolific than Michael Jordan. Some people may say Larry Bird was in there. There will never be another Michael Jordan. And if Larry Bird is counted, it's only like one or two white guys in history of basketball compared to the majority of the Hall of Famers, I would argue, are black players. Look at football. Some of the greatest players to ever play football were black. There would be, when you talk about talent-wise, there will never be a white quarterback that's as talented as Carrington's favorite player. I forget his name now. Lamar Jackson. There will never be another Lamar Jackson as white. So Lamar Jackson's accomplishments are far up and beyond what anybody can ever accomplish. So when you put it in perspective, you say these black people that he's claiming that's exceptional, that do exceptionally well, it just doesn't exist in any other race. You look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. I mean, they're billionaires. You look at Kanye West, billionaire. You look at making billions of dollars in entertainment. I don't think that there's many white entertainers that's making money like Beyonce now. Let's just keep it real. One of the most popular genres of music in the world is hip-hop music, dominated by African Americans, or Americans of African descent is what I like to call it. So you can't say that average white folks are doing these incredible things and extraordinary black people are maybe not even measuring up to what these average white people are doing. It makes no sense. Denzel Washington is one of the greatest actors. I mean, you go down a list of some of the greatest black actors. They make tons of money, and they're incredibly famous, and they're incredibly exceptional. It was another example I wanted to use. I mean, you go to Oprah Winfrey. Like, this is the thing that bothers me about what he said. He tries to act as if there's only a few black people that have to do these crazy things, and they still fall short on the white people. It's just not true. Madam C.J. Walker in the early 1900s, late 1800s, was the richest woman, period. At a black, white, she was the richest woman, period. She would be a billionaire if you adjusted for inflation and all of the above. If you took her money then and brought it up to today, she'd be a billionaire. Madam C.J. Walker was the richest woman ever. Probably the richest woman ever in American history, but especially during her time. She was richer than every white woman, probably that wasn't a part of the royal family and all that stuff, but like as an entrepreneur, she was richer than any white woman in American history. And that was in the early 1900s, late 1800s. She died in the early 1900s. But come on, man. D.L. Hughley is just, he just building his perspective. And this is what the black leaders, the people that look up to black folks, this is what they hear. Is always this idea that the white man is always a step ahead of you. When I don't know about white comedians. I don't really know who's the most popular white comedian because all I listened to were black comedians when I was growing up. But I don't know if anybody did better than Kings of Comedy. I don't know if there has ever been an episode like that was better than Kings of Comedy, which was all black comedians.